In a surprising move that sent shockwaves across the globe, Saudi Arabia, one of the world's largest oil producers, recently announced an increase in gas prices. This unexpected decision has sparked conversations about its potential impact on global oil markets, economies, and the environment. To understand the implications of this move, we need to delve into the factors behind this decision and how it fits into the broader context of the world's evolving energy landscape. Let's begin. A shift in oil production. Saudi Arabia's decision to increase gas prices comes at a time when global oil production is undergoing significant changes. The world is experiencing a transition towards cleaner and more sustainable energy sources, driven by a growing awareness of climate change and the need to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. As a result, many nations are gradually reducing their dependence on fossil fuels, including oil. The Arab embargo, a historical perspective. To comprehend the significance of this shift in oil production, we must first explore the historical context. 50 years ago, during the Arab oil embargo, oil was weaponized as a means to inflict economic trauma on nations dependent on fossil fuels. The embargo disrupted oil supplies and resulted in surging inflation and economic challenges for many countries. This tactic aimed to emphasize the power that oil-producing nations held over global economies. Kindly take a moment to give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe and turn on the bell notification feature to stay up to date with all our latest videos. Fast forward to the present day, Saudi Arabia's decision to increase gas prices can be seen as a strategic move to capitalize on the rising oil prices amid changing global dynamics. By reducing oil production, they hope to create a perception of scarcity, thus driving prices up. This strategy reflects a belief that, as the world transitions towards greener alternatives, oil may become a scarcer commodity, allowing for increased profits in the short term. Rising oil prices and economic impact. One of the driving factors behind Saudi Arabia's decision is the recent surge in oil prices. This increase has been influenced by several factors, including supply cuts by both Saudi Arabia and Russia. Such disruptions in the oil market have led to changes in the US dollar relation to oil. These dynamics have consequences not only for oil-producing countries, but also for the global economy. As the prices of oil rise, subdue the costs of production and transportation for various industries, leading to inflationary pressures. Consumers around the world feel the effects of these increased prices, which can result in higher living costs and reduced purchasing power. This scenario is reminiscent of the impacts of the Arab embargo, where oil prices played a pivotal role in shaping economic outcomes. Saudi Arabia's strategy is not without risks. While they hope that reducing oil production will lead to increased prices and profits, they must contend with the unpredictable nature of global economic conditions. The world is currently grappling with potential signs of a worldwide recession, and if such a recession were to occur, it could significantly impact oil demand. In such a scenario, reducing oil production may not lead to the expected price hikes. Economic shocks, such as the recent economic troubles in China's real estate sector, serve as a stark reminder of the complexities involved in managing global economies. When nations attempt to manipulate the oil market to their advantage, they face the uncertainties of the broader economic landscape. The outcome of Saudi Arabia's decision will undoubtedly have repercussions that ripple across the globe, shaping the future of the oil industry and the world economy. As we navigate this uncertain terrain, it's essential to consider the broader implications of these actions. Beyond economic factors, Saudi Arabia's decision to increase gas prices also intersects with global efforts to combat climate change. The world is increasingly focused on transitioning away from fossil fuels to reduce carbon emissions and limit the impact of global warming. As the price of oil rises, it may incentivize more individuals and industries to adopt cleaner and more sustainable energy sources, such as electric vehicles and renewable energy. This shift towards greener alternatives aligns with international agreements like the Paris Agreement, which aim to reduce carbon emissions and limit global warming to well below 2 degrees Celsius. Saudi Arabia's reliance on oil revenue in the face of this global trend raises questions about the long-term sustainability of their economic strategy. To mitigate their vulnerability to fluctuations in oil prices and the eventual decline of fossil fuels, many oil-dependent nations, including Saudi Arabia, have embarked on diversification strategies. These initiatives aim to reduce their economic reliance on oil by investing in other sectors, such as technology, tourism, and renewable energy. In the face of these changing global dynamics, the need for energy transition has become more evident than ever. Governments, businesses, and individuals worldwide are recognizing the urgency of reducing greenhouse gas emissions, conserving natural resources, and adopting sustainable practices. One of the key elements of this transition is the promotion of alternative energy sources, including solar, wind, and hydroelectric power. Investments in renewable energy have been on the rise, with many countries committing to ambitious renewable energy targets. As fossil fuels become less economically viable, the importance of diversifying energy sources becomes paramount. Furthermore, electric vehicles, EVs, have emerged as a promising solution to reduce our dependence on oil and curb carbon emissions in the transportation sector. The growing popularity of EVs and the development of charging infrastructure reflect a shift towards cleaner and more efficient transportation options. It's important to note that this transition doesn't only offer environmental benefits but also economic opportunities. The green energy sector has seen substantial growth, creating jobs and innovation as it gains momentum. Saudi Arabia, too, has recognized the potential of the renewable energy market and has invested in solar and wind projects as part of its diversification strategy. As the world moves toward cleaner energy solutions, the balance of power in the global energy landscape is shifting. Nations that have been heavily dependent on oil exports are realizing the need to adapt to this changing reality. In this context, geopolitical relationships and alliances are evolving. The United States, for example, has been reducing its reliance on foreign oil by increasing domestic oil production and supporting the growth of renewable energy. This shift has allowed the U.S. to exert greater influence over the global oil market. Additionally, the world is witnessing new geopolitical dynamics in the energy sector, particularly in regions with vast oil reserves. As countries reposition themselves to ensure their energy security and influence the direction of global energy markets, alliances and conflicts may emerge. Now, let's hear from you in the comments section. That's where we wrap up things for today. If you enjoyed today's content, then leave us a like, subscribe, and ensure the bell notification is on to be notified of our recent content. While these efforts are commendable, the success of diversification depends on careful planning, infrastructure development, and the ability to create a competitive edge in non-oil industries. Saudi Arabia's vision for 2030, which aims to diversify its economy and reduce its dependence on oil, is a prime example of these aspirations. Saudi Arabia's position as a major player in the oil market gives it a significant role in global energy security. Any decision it makes regarding oil production and pricing has a ripple effect on the energy stability of various nations. Energy security is vital for both developed and developing economies, as it influences geopolitical relationships and economic stability.